The following podcast contains adult content. It is not suitable for minors, professional settings, or the faint of heart. Welcome to FOREPLAY Goes South's About Last Night, a reoccurring monthly episode in which I take a story told on the stage last night's live event and release it the very next day.
Actually, I was talking about this the other day. So I had this thing about for the longest time I had a thing about male femme threesomes. I didn't want to do them because in my mind I thought about the femme in the middle, two guys, Eiffel Tower, yeah, fuck yes. You're just basically using somebody as a sexual commodity in a not fun way, like very objectified, misogynistic way. I always stayed very, very far away from it, didn't like it. And then I kind of fell into one. About 2015 with a friend of mine where it's like he was helping me move once I retired up to Connecticut from my big boy job now that I couldn't just jump around on airplanes anymore. So he's like, yeah, do you want to kind of join in? And I was like, yeah. And well, at the time I wasn't out yet. I really wasn't interested in many ways. It wasn't my type. But it was the fact I had such a good time. It was like just both of us. It was like a team building exercise. We spoiled the fuck out of this other person. I'm like, fucking all right, let's fucking do this thing. All right, it was great. Good coordination, like synergy and all those other fucking buzzwords. So, and it kind of honestly, I liked it more than I did with two femmes. Because it was different if I had a partner that I was kind of sexually experienced with, and then somebody else comes along, we're like, all right, cool, we're going to Wonder Twin Powers, just crush this person. It's going to be fun. Because don't get me wrong, the objective, I'm a self-efficacy girl. I like to pretty much leave somebody in just a giant, sweaty, panting puddle of their own cum and giggles. And then whatever's left of them, you go pour it into the shower and you just kind of scrub them down, pat their head, and tell them that they're a good girl. Or boy. Or mix. I love the MX abbreviation. I actually got that from my friend who's non-binary when they got married. So I got him a coffee mug that says Sir Mix-a-Lot with the MX. I'm an adult with a credit card. So I was actually dating somebody who was quite lovely up in the West Virginia area. Please don't hold that against her. She was actually from Pittsburgh, so she just moved there for work. Decisions were made. But it was a really good relationship, and I really good dynamic with her boyfriend. So we were at kind of a house party, and we're fooling around. It's the one I was telling you about the other day. So we're hooking up in our friend's bedroom, as one does. And then her boyfriend comes in, and he's like, oh, okay, you mind if I watch? I'm like, fuck yeah, man, by all means, spectator sport. And then she's like, are you comfortable if he joins? And at that point, I'm kind of I've been to the puppet show and seen the strings. I'm like, yeah, sure, come on in, buddy. Let's do this thing. So he comes in, and we get to a point where he's got her bent over, and he's fucking her in the ass. And I'm laying down, and she's going down on me, and she's having just a really terrible time all around. So, but there's so the person's room we were in had where it's the integrated shelf where it's built into the wall kind of deal. And he was he worked on BMX bikes or motocross bikes. So there were small parts everywhere. So I'm laying down on this bed, and there's this carburetor or some kind of catalytic converter. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't work on dirt bikes. And I'm laying on it, and I'm just really uncomfortable. And my autism's going into overdrive. You're not comfortable, move, bitch. But she's really happy. I'm I'm gonna be a team player. I'm just gonna fucking dig it out. And she's just getting pounded to no end. And I'm just hyper fixating on this. And then I see this shadow coming over me. I'm like, what? I look up, and he's literally leaning over, still fucking her with rhythm and tempo, with a pillow, and puts it behind my head. So I'm sitting there like this, and I'm like, it was so great. Who doesn't want that kind of cohesion? That's amazing. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend. People, it's I don't do it with another guy. It's competition. Fuck competition. It's a fucking team sport. You get to treat somebody like a slutty game of badminton. Or, what is it, pickleball now? Everybody does the pickleball thing. I mean, there's screaming involved. Sometimes there's a paddle. It's get on your side. The last one I'll talk about, just cut in real quick, is, it's my favorite picture. Oh, God, I wish I had this video because it was so great. So up in the Brooklyn Bushwick area, there are sex-positive communities, and they would do magical things that I want to bring down here. I really do. I miss fucking brunch orgies. Brunch orgies are the greatest. If you haven't been in a group sex situation, it's not what you think. Like, you can get up and, like, leave and go do shit, and then come back. It's amazing. It's like, hey, I'm going to go get a fucking water. Does anybody want anything? No, I'm good. All right, cool. So they would do the brunch orgies, like everybody would do the party Saturday night, play party, everybody would sleep over, wake up, everybody gets their cuddle puddles, and then sexy times happen, and then just somehow brunch gets made in between enthusiastic oral sex and frickin' butt play. So I get up, and apparently there's a video, so it was a very nice, it was like, you know, it's upscale Manhattan, the brownstones and shit. So there's this Long Island, it's got the cooktop, it's got the sink, and then there's the long arching, like, you know, shelves where it's like the glass cabinets where it looks nice, but there's no fucking way you're getting that bowl that's up there that's been there since like 1997. Unless you have one of those fucking like ladder things from like The Mummy, like it's just not happening. So, but it was really nice, his glass. So on the other side of it was one of the individuals who lived there, and he had the big California king size bed, and everybody's in there having a good time, or they were on the beanbags and so on and so forth. So I'm apparently standing in the island. I've got like this frilly fucking apron on, nothing else. I was thinner and prettier then. Look, I'm crippled now. Don't judge me. So I'm like cooking eggs and bacon as one does, and making coffee. And the glass that you see in the cabinet is literally vibrating. So in the video, you just see me kind of like drinking my coffee and making shit, and you just hear people screaming bloody murder as the wall fucking shakes. And I'm like, doing my thing. And it's just so funny. There was a movie, has not aged well with time. What is it called? Don't Mess with the Zohan. So it's the one where the guy's like cutting the hair and you see shit like falling off the shelves and he's just like not even paying attention to it. The same fucking thing. So, lesson learned, boys and girls. 1, don't duck the MMFs. I'm telling you what, it's fucking team building exercise. Get out of your own way. You're going to have fun, and so will they. And then group sex. Don't forget, group sex. Like, you can literally go and make a French press and come back and still get fucked. And then go make more food. You can make a Whataburger run. I don't care. That's what you guys eat around. No, you guys do the Bojangles thing. You do, you're all about the Bojangles. Yeah, what's the fucking dessert thing that looks like a cement brick that, like, you eat it and it's delicious, but it sits here for, like, 9 hours? Bowberry biscuit? Yeah. It's for the person who just doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like, I want diabetes on speed dial kind of deal. Cool. So, group sex, yeah? Fuck you, group sex, yeah? Whores, a lot of you. Unmic me, daddy.
This episode of Foreplay Goes South podcast was recorded and produced by event host and podcast creator Metanoia. These stories are recorded live every third Tuesday of the month at Petra's in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information about Foreplay Goes South, follow us at ForePlayGS on Facebook, FetLife, Instagram, and Twitter.